We're getting more people coming on, and so it's really good. If you just came on, good morning or good evening, depending where you're from. You know, we've got Candy here and myself, Sean. We're really excited to have you. We're really privileged to be on. I don't know, Candy, if you want to just give a brief introduction of yourself.
Sure. Okay, so hi everyone. Before we start, and good morning, very welcome, and thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Candy from Malaysia, from a very small city called Miri. If you guys don't know it, you can Google it. And I'm actually a full-time lawyer and doing MA part-time. So I've been with MA for just 2 years actually, and I'm really enjoying it and have learned a lot from MA, and also on the path to my ongoing residual income, which is a really, really good thing. Yeah, what about you, Sean?
That's awesome to hear, Candy. I know you're on your way. We're all on our way, and that's why we're here this morning, right? So for all of you who don't know who I am, I'm Sean. You know, Candy and I were really privileged and honored to be here this morning to, be MCs this morning. And so about me, I'm originally from Perth. Currently, I am based in Singapore. I just moved over during COVID, so it's perfect timing. I am a chartered accountant during the day and potentially some nights, depending on how late we'd work. And yeah, likewise with Candy, I'm doing this business part-time and really enjoying it, and really looking forward to, a bit more residual income, not a bit more, but for the residual income. And we're going to do well. We're going to retire the family. We're going to retire our parents. It's going to be awesome. But as we're coming to 9 o'clock now, I think everyone's starting to pop in. So before we start, we're really lucky to have a little video coming up for you to introduce to you who is Olivia Li. And so we're going to pass this on, and the video is just about to come on.
Of movie scenes, noise is always loud. There are sirens all around, and the streets are mean. If I can make it here, I can make it anywhere. That's what they say. See my face in lights, on my name, my monkeys found down on Broadway. Even if it ain't all it seems, I got a pocket full of dreams, baby. I'm from New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do. Now you're in New York. These streets will make you feel brand new. Big lights will inspire you. Hear it for New York, New York, New York. On the avenue, there ain't never a curfew. Ladies work so hard. Such a melting pot on the corner selling rock. Preachers pray to God. And the gypsy cab takes me down from Harlem to the Brooklyn Bridge. Someone sleeps tonight with the hunger for more than an empty fridge. I'ma make it by any means. I got a pocket full of dreams, baby. I'm from New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing.
Great. Well, that was awesome. Such a great video and a really good introduction. If you haven't seen who our special guest is, I'm sure everyone knows we have Olivia Li on this morning. And so, I'm really excited to have Olivia Li on. I think it's a real privilege. And today, I just want to say a special thank you to Olivia and for coming on, and as well to Sabrina, Vincent, and the team for organizing this whole brekkie show, or breakfast, depending on how much you want to abbreviate it, depends on your Aussie slang. But yeah, I'm really excited. For me personally, I had Olivia Li, I suppose, introduced to me when I first became a UFO. And I remember Josephine and the team was also saying, oh, you have to listen to Olivia Li. You have to listen to her. She's, young. She's a young entrepreneur, and she has inspired many, and she definitely inspired me. And so when I went to Miami for the first time last year, 2019, I was really privileged to see, the Flushing, New York team and seeing Olivia Li there. And I guess even more privileged to actually meet her in person briefly when, we went to go see Amber Yang and their coring crew. And so today, I'm really privileged to have her on. But I don't know about you, Candy. What's your experience been?
Likewise, really. Thank you so much, Olivia, for joining us today. And, everyone knows that, it's fact. Yeah, you're young, successful, smart, and very empowering. Really influence a lot of young UFOs. Really, a lot of us really love you. So we're really excited that you're here with us today. Olivia, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, both Sean and Candy, for such a gracious introduction. And likewise, the honor is definitely mine. And I'm really humbled to join you all and everyone coming in I saw from the chat everywhere, literally. So we're truly market worldwide. So if you are having your isotonic drinks, cheers. I'm almost done with God knows how many cups today. My astaxanthin, because I've been Zooming all day today, so I needed to protect my eyes. And of course, I got my aloe juice here, pretending that I'm getting a whiskey drink. So if you're having your trim tea, trim cafe, whatever, shopping annuity green tea, let's have some fun today.
Awesome. I was gonna just ask, what were you gonna drink tonight? It's a Friday night, so I thought you might have something different.
Right. So it depends on my performance later. So if I start to give you TMI, too much information, then maybe I have some special stuff in here. But this is the pomegranate plus natural flavor aloe juice, and I put an ice cube in there just to make it pretty. So cheers.
Wow, it sounds yum. I'll definitely try that.
Yeah,
it's really good. Yeah, during the summertime, I actually really love the pomegranate because it tastes better with the ice. Hi, Doreen. So good to see you on. Sorry, guys. Well, we're, I wish I really could see everyone's faces, but, welcome on. And we're going to have, a very casual conversation. And, usually is these conversations over breakfast, over, at the parking lot, where we really get into the details of how we build this business and how we overcome some of the challenges that we all face. And hopefully this morning for you guys will be helpful for everyone on.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much. And Olivia, don't fear. We're going to have towards the end a chance to see everyone's face, later. So we're going to take a quick photo towards the end, but hopefully we can see everyone there. And you're right. These talks are meant to be casual. It's meant to be real and down to earth. And so I guess to start, we wanted to know, what do you normally do typically on a day-to-day basis at the moment? What does your day look like?
Well, my day looks like, it's very glamorous, to be honest. I dress up and put on my Motives cosmetics and pack my stuff, and I would go from my bedroom to my kitchen. And so my next trip will be from the kitchen to the bathroom. So as you all know, we're still pretty much, staying home most of the time. But, so my day now, especially after the pandemic, so we had to obviously shift everything online with Zoom. And, I'm sure many teams have had great success actually leveraging the technology and the Zoom. So I start off the day with, in the morning, 8 to 10 caps of OPC3. Recently this week, we're doing like a 10 caps OPC3 among our team, and just to really detox our blood. So, you know, that's why I said OPC3, 10 caps in the morning. But usually I do my 8 caps of the isotonic cocktail. And I do also, do you want me to share some products too? Because, you know, like my day is consistent with lots of products.
Yeah, share it.
And I do the fiber powder, usually half an hour to 1 hour after breakfast. And of course, breakfast, I do TLS shake with usually the vanilla flavor mixed with lots of different veggies and fruits and whatever you want to put in there. And I also put 2 scoops of the complete green to give me 8 more servings of the fresh, you know, basically fiber. And let me tell you, it tastes like a matcha flavored milkshake. It tastes amazing. Yeah. So yeah, so that's like lots of BV and IBV done in the morning. And of course, you know, everything else, the whole hygiene stuff. But I really tend to do most of my result producing activities before noon. So, you know, I think if we do get into some of the, you know, time management stuff later on, this is one thing I've definitely benefited and learned throughout these years in the business is to really tackle the tough tasks first. So I get my 3-1-2 out of the way in the morning. The 3-1-2s are 3 talk tos, right? And 1 appointment, and add 2 names. So, you know, now everything is digital. Everything has to be on, you know, relying on the social media and etc. So, you know, definitely also adjusted myself to that a little bit more. And I do my self-study for the business also in the morning. So these are some of the non-negotiable things that I have to do. So the self-study depends on your personal growth goal for the week. So I always set a different personal growth goal for the quarter, for the month, but also for the week. So every week I know exactly what I want to work on. So in the morning, if I needed to strengthen some of the product knowledge, I would do that for half an hour. If I needed to, you know, really strengthen my, you know, mindset or upgrade my goals, I will be doing more of the reading books. Audio is a given, right? Audio should be always on, shower time, cooking time, so leveraged hours. And so most of the result producing activities done in the morning, and we always schedule our ABC duplication trainings in the morning as well. So in the afternoons are usually appointment times. So from noon to, I would say anytime would be, you know, Zoom appointments or, you know, getting started guides or setting people up with their, you know, action plans. So these are the 2-on-1 calls or individual coachings usually happen in the afternoon. And also, so nighttime, we do most of the CBPs or the HBPs now, which is online as well, or the corporate Zooms. So Sundays is always our team coring time. So that's always a set schedule. Wednesdays also our Chinese. So English and Chinese. English on Sunday, Chinese on Wednesday, usually packed day schedule with, you know, business presentations and, you know, team corings, etc. So what else? And basically, you know, so in addition to everything business agenda out of the way, then of course, you know, workout time, sometimes I do it in the morning with, you know, some of the teammates, or sometimes I do it in the afternoon on my own. So that's more for the fun times.
Wow.
Right. So
That's a lot.
like first thing, matcha, that's my favorite. So I'm gonna definitely try that, the vanilla shake and the complete green, definitely. And very motivating, Olivia. So we really have to get all the tough things done first in the morning. Yeah, right. That's what I get from you. Yeah, definitely will do that. Sean?
Definitely. I was just gonna say matcha. Are you a matcha fan as well, Olivia?
Yes, who isn't, right? Matcha tastes so good.
But you just given a brilliant idea, BV wise and also taste. Excuse me. And so yeah, definitely got to give it a try. And you know, really excited to, you know, have that similar lifestyle that you have everything all done in the morning, but then also really busy in the evening. I think it's pretty cool.
Right. So I mean, not everyone does the business full time, correct? So I guess now I'm speaking of the schedule, and it may sound really intense to a lot of people, but I guess depends on where you are. So now we're in New York and we really can't go anywhere. So why don't we leverage this time and really create some momentum? And honestly, we were busier than ever the past couple of months because there were so many people who were dying for this opportunity, and they either want to learn a new skill sets or want to have a backup plan, or just really wanted to be more in control in life. So there's lots of people who used to be in the business who maybe were waiting and stable. And so there's so much momentum because everyone finally started to wake up and say, wow, I guess internet trend. And if we were going to be in the internet trend and shopping, then, why don't we get paid for it? So people are definitely waking up. And I think there's no better time to build than now, honestly.
Yes, couldn't agree more. So Olivia, we know that from your power profile, and you have shared many times on stage how your mom has actually introduced you to this business many times, but you weren't interested at all. Can you share with us how your mom actually continued to share with you, and how were your experiences in the first few conventions?
Okay, wow. So I hope everyone's ready because I was a tough cookie. So I think it's really interesting that a lot of people look at, people who are at certain levels and they say, wow, I wish I had, Sean as one of my personal sponsors. I wish I had Olivia on my team. And sometimes I wonder if you really had me as a new guest or a new prospect, maybe I was so difficult that, I would really poo-poo on your parade kind of thing, So, but luckily, I think, my mom, yes, she persistently followed up on me, but she never really pushed to show the business to me. So I think that is a huge difference that I've never seen the plan until I even registered a business, because I launched a business because I wanted to get tax benefit once I started working in Wall Street. So, prior to that, even back in college, my mom would always bring me our products, right? Start with the products. Isn't that what a lot of people do? Get your family on products. Yeah. And you know how difficult that was? She would always bring me the Skintelligence, the Royal Spa shower gel shampoo. And I'll be like, excuse me, mom, I can buy my own brand. I know what Japanese brand and, these protein hair shampoos. And so they were $30 each. And I thought I knew my brands, I knew my stuff. So I didn't use them, and I just returned them to her. And she also brought me OPC3 to dorm. And you know how we moved from dorm back and home every semester. So one semester later, the OPC3 was all chunked up because it got humidity in there, right? So that's how difficult it was, right? I refused to use the products, right? Timing wasn't right. I was, at Columbia, I was ambitious, but also not very open-minded. Just really brainwashed in that sense where the peer pressure, everyone's going to get a good job after this, and we're going to get a 6-figure income and, climb the corporate ladder. So timing wasn't right. And so when I started complaining about my tax, so you know how you find a job, and I actually signed for the Wall Street job. And so the sign-on bonus was pretty incredible. It was $30,000 if I just signed the paper to say that I agree to work for them, right? So that's the biggest check I've ever had in my life. Come on, at such a young age, I haven't even graduated from school yet, and I have a $30,000 check coming in my way. So I thought I was gonna get $30,000, but when I received the check, it was only $15,000. So the tax I was paying was 48%. So that's when I started complaining. I was complaining about, wow, actually the income that I thought I was earning was not the income I was earning. So then my mom actually continued to listen. And she said, then why don't you look into shop.com? Well, back then we didn't even have shop.com, I believe. So right before then. And so she said, why don't you look into the business and they can actually write off tax? So that piqued my interest. So that was the reason why I launched the business. And I did the math. I said, wow, if I were going to use household goods anyway, and I actually can leverage all of these items where I can turn just personal spending into a business write-off, it's brilliant, right? So after I started the business, like JR always says, it doesn't really start until the business gets to your heart. So I was physically registered in the business, but I never took a look into the business. So my mom, was very patient, and she literally, convinced me, you should really see this business for yourself. If you can learn, benefit a lot of personal growth, given that I was a very, very introverted and shy person. Okay, so I can talk to my really good friends, nonstop. But if you ask me to have a conversation with a new person or a stranger, even back in school, when we finished summer school and then come back in September, everyone's excited to see each other, right? Be like, hi, Sean, how's everything? How was your summer break? I will be pretending I'm walking and talking to my mom on the phone just to avoid a conversation. I'll be like, hey, Sean, good to see you. I hope you had a good summer. Sorry, I'm talking to my mom. I'll catch you later. That would be me back in college. So I definitely didn't have the communication skills, the people skills, the business skills, definitely not. So my mom wanted me to definitely gain those personal growth. So I said, Mom, that's okay. I'm busy with my, school and work. Then she convinced me, and she also lured me. Why don't you come to Miami? It's beautiful, sunny beach, and, you get to enjoy the sun. Excuse me, Mom, I can travel with my friends. So, and then she eventually called my full name, like I shared at convention, just almost like that, tough love kind of thing. And I'm willing to go, but I can only go for one day. So my first world conference, I was only able to go for one day because I was a director for our fashion show in school for senior year. And I was just like, Mom, there's no way I'm going to skip our rehearsal and then go to Miami. So I can't go until Friday night. So my mom actually bought me a flight down there. And Saturday, I only showed up to, I was by the balcony. If you were at Miami World Conference, the balcony area, because inside AC is crazy. First time you go there without OPC3, you feel like you're going to freeze. So I was outside enjoying my sun with my big sunglasses and a floral dress. And a few other business partners in my mom's team and saw me, and they're like, whose guess is that? She looks so negative. She looks so skeptical. And then my mom had to pull her face down and be like, that's my daughter. So that's my first experience. But I did go in during recognition. I heard a little bit of JR, and I don't understand everything, but I definitely got inspired. And I was very, very especially touched by JR's passion. Although I didn't know why he was so passionate, I just knew he was really passionate, and I knew he was a great leader, very different than the leaders or the management I've seen in corporate America. So then fasting forward from February to August, those 6 months, many people would expect somebody showed up at one convention and will be jumping in right away because you said this business showed you some vision, right? So yes, it gave me some vision, but I didn't really know what I wanted yet. So sometimes it takes 2 or 3 conventions for you to see the change in a company and also you changing, growing yourself. So I didn't know what I wanted. I just wanted tax return. So if I just want a tax return, why do I have to plug into the training, and why did I have to grow myself? So I was basically people, training time. Oh, if my friend invited me to a steakhouse, see you later, I'll be going to the steakhouse. People inviting me on Friday night, usually like now karaoke, I wouldn't be here tonight, So everything else seemed more important than Market America because your desire is not there yet. So timing hasn't kicked in. So then by the next convention, I also told my mom I can only go for 1 day, okay? Because my probation in Wall Street, you can't take days off. And if you did take days off, they just let you go. So I flew down to Greensboro on Friday night. Long story short, that 1 day really got me irritated. Number one, seeing many other faces that were familiar in February, and I saw a lot of personal growth. I saw they were able to really become professional and confident at public speaking. They were able to grow themselves and grow their business. And they weren't, no condescending way, but I was thinking they weren't better than me, whatever they could do, I think I could do too. So what made them grow so much in 6 months? And I felt like I started to taste the 45 years plan. So number one was the change in people and the company growing fast, and myself going back the second time, I understood the business more, right? So that's one thing that changed for me. The second thing was timing for me in the 45 years plan started to, give me a little pain. I hated the 80 hours a week. So, all of those have to come together. And, but it was really the meeting after the meeting, after Greensboro, how Flushing team culture always meet after the meeting. So we didn't meet after the meeting, and all of these successful people's stories, their why, and people were so grateful for this opportunity. And all of those stories made me very emotional, but, started to make me think, what do I truly want in life? So that really opened up that magic moment of what I truly, what if question started to pop up, right? So, it's not, okay, do I have to follow this one route that seemed glamorous? Or what if I can be an entrepreneur and live a free life like they said? So then from there on, I set a better goal. So now I don't just want tax benefit. I already have it. I want more. I want personal growth in the business. I want to have another income. And if possible, I want to be able to quit my, whatever job and maybe be free one day. So those ideas started to pop up. So you see the correlation, the more you want, the more you're willing to do. So then I started to plug into the training, and, once you're in the right environment, you create the right attitude, and the right attitude, the mindset will lead into the right action, right? So, if you are following up with somebody, be creative, be patient, but also to really listen to what they want, and but also inspire them what they could have. You know what I mean? So I hope that was interesting enough.
Yes. And definitely not easy from the start. Yeah. Like you, I was actually forced by my mom to go to the KL convention, the Southeast Asia convention in May 2018. And twice I was like, didn't pay much attention. And I'm like, same thing, Mom, stop. I'm going to do my thing. I'm just gonna listen to you. Yeah, but I'm glad, I'm sure you're glad too that your mom actually kind of, yes, very persistent. Yeah. So when you were a new UFO, especially you are still working full time at that time. So what were the struggles or challenges that you faced, and how did you actually overcome them?
Okay. Wow. Challenges and struggles. I would say more challenges because, when you identify them as struggles, then it really felt like a struggle, but challenges is more like working yourself, right? Working your way up there. And so let me be real with you. All of the result producing activities were my challenges. So, which means retailing, recruiting, and, without these two, you can't even sell it. You haven't even gotten into the ABC pattern of selling tickets yet. So I definitely had to work on my people skills. Like I said earlier, just I had to really build from cold market. And my friends and coworkers were, really living the life, and they obviously did not even want to invest an hour to look into what I did. And to be honest, I was, I had good friends and good coworkers, but I was not the influential one among them. So, back in college, I was actually called the little fob, the cute fob. I'm not sure if you guys know what that means, fresh off the boat, because I was an immigrant, like I didn't speak the perfect English like all of them growing up here. So they used to call me, hey, the cute fob. And so I was definitely not the influential one. So when I actually called on them and, asked them to evaluate and, before you even finish, and they're like, oh, it must be one of those things. And some people even said, oh, your mom paid $200,000 tuition for you to do that. All of these people raining on your parade. So, a lot of people say, well, isn't that very discouraging? It is discouraging, or, you might doubt yourself for a little bit, but I'm also a very hard-headed person myself. So I like to, if you don't even give me the time to evaluate and you say, and you just respect my decision or my choice, I think it's just, I need to prove to you that this business is a true, legit vehicle. And it's something that I respect, and you should respect my decision as well. So that became a driving force for me to really show it to them, prove it to them. So stranger market, collecting names, and really working on how to retail were definitely a challenge for our young entrepreneurs. And I still remember the first sale I had was probably a bottle of aloe gel, and I didn't have the guts to collect tax. So I was just like, oh, you're willing to buy the aloe gel? Okay, here's how much it is, and including the shipping back then, and I didn't collect the tax, so I paid for the tax. So I was only making like 50 cents retail profit. So you see, for new people, if you're on the call here and you're wondering, wow, everybody's good retail queens and recruiting machines, but we weren't like that to begin with. So I actually had 23 sit down, shown plan, like real legit appointments. And all of these people, I've also scheduled appointments for the following time. So 23 all said no. Okay, so the 24th then became a yes, the 25th became a yes, the 26th became a yes. So if you were at the previous local seminar I've done, I think you've heard that story. So I'm gonna just be really quick. But I think it's really important to know where we were, how much skill sets I have. And I've always known that skill sets can be trained. Maybe because I had a piano background since I was 4, and just practicing every day was non-negotiable. It's not something that I have to think twice or ask my mom and be like, can I not practice today? It's not even a question. If I don't finish my 2-3 hour minimum practice, I've never skipped a day from 4 years old to 18 years old of practicing piano, minimum from 2-3 hours a day to maximum 12 hours a day. Okay, so maybe because of that experience, I've always known that just skill sets takes repetition, takes sharpening up the skills. So I got irritated from all these rejections. So I said, positive affirmation every day. I'm going to be a master recruiter. I'm going to be a powerful communicator. I'm be an inspiring leader. I am a, retail queen. I'm a people magnet. So every day I'm like literally, when I'm commuting to work and back and just constantly writing these things. And, my team used to remind me, they said, can you still find the old notebook and the calendar you had? I said, why? Because they said, we remember seeing you writing all over your notebooks, up and down, any empty space, you were writing your positive affirmations. So, and now when I share with you guys, it still makes me a little emotional and just be like, wow, that's pretty amazing what I've done. And maybe now I need to do more of that. It's like, I definitely had a lot of challenges in terms of rejections but if you really look at that, it's more like, I never had business background. To be honest, I don't think if young people even qualified to be a franchise owner yet. Because number one, I've never had money-making skills or business building skills. So I knew I was kind of below average for Market America on franchise owner standpoint, business owner standpoint. So I had to work my way up to that business owner standpoint, then eventually become the leader. So I knew I had a long learning curve to grow. So every day sticking with 3, 1, 2 really, really helped me. Did I always accomplish all of the numbers? Definitely not. I've made myself an Excel sheet. I still remember this. I made the Excel sheets when I was working in banking. So leverage my time when I was at work, right? But really I made that sheet because I was so irritated. I said, I gotta be able to force myself to stick with a plan. So every day, 3 names, I leave 3 empty blanks to talk to, 1 appointment, and then 2 names. So all of these things are on my Excel sheets Monday to Sunday. So then a lot of the previous weeks were more empty than check marks. So then a few weeks later, you start to see more check marks, and then eventually becoming more people I've talked to than what the spaces I've left. So I started to write all over the pages. So it's really fun when you focus on growing yourself rather than just the results. So if I focused on results or compared with my senior or junior partners, to be honest, I had a few junior partners who actually grew slightly faster than me. They actually were able to activate before I did, hit executive coordinator before I did, hit master coordinator before I did, and hit professional before I did. So I had a long time where I haven't seen dramatic results because I knew I was dragging my rubber band. Like when you have to stretch your rubber band little by little. In the beginning, it's, and then the more you stretch it, the more you stretch it, the more you stretch it. And when it gets to a, tipping point, bam, when you let it go, that's when all the results starts to come in. So all of that daily repetition really helped me 3-1-2, and never being away from the team environment was definitely something that helped overcome any possible, negative energies out there. So the smartest thing to do is never allow yourself to be away from the team and the GMTSS environment, because you don't know, you don't know when the negative energy is, subconsciously getting to you. But if you're always in the right environment, all of those negative energies or thoughts are canceled, right? Cancel all the time. So it doesn't even get to you. So you don't hit a plateau or, feel like you have a big bump to overcome. So, these are definitely something that helped me.
Wow, that's awesome. I love that analogy about the rubber band and, you going through the whole thing there. I suppose talking about that then, Olivia, was there times when you felt I should just give up on Market in America, shop.com? It would just be easier to go back to Wall Street and just work. How did you overcome that?
First of all, I think the first thing that helped me was I actually made a promise to myself that, after several people rejecting, and like I said, rejections really irritates me rather than beating me down, because if I stop the business, then everybody who's rejected me tend to be right? They knew they didn't waste time with me. So just the fact that I have to prove it to those people that I was right, I wanted to continue. But after these rejections, I actually made a commitment with myself. I said, regardless of how late I finish work, unless it's like super, super late, then if I can get to the team training, I would not skip. Right. So because the 2 to 3 year plan says, if you follow the system and from event to event, never skipping an event. So sometimes I finish work maybe 9 or 10 or 11. But back in the days, our team also, most people were really, really hardworking people. So they don't get off work until 8 or 10 either. So many people also had to start their training maybe at 9 or 10 p.m. So by the time I get from the city to, my senior partners' meeting locations, and those locations also have to take at least 2 or 3 transfers from subway to bus. So by the time I get there, most of the time they're already doing meeting after the meeting. Okay, so sometimes they're done with the meeting after meeting, but the fact that I still went I was able to still mingle with them, and they still share with me what they've done. And, so I never really felt that I was by myself. I was alone. And so I think then it never really crossed my mind that maybe it's easier to go back to banking, because I knew that banking, so some people know exactly what they want in life, and some people know what they don't want in life. And I'm the second kind of person at that age. So once I started working for a couple of months, number one, I didn't like being tied down to a glass ceiling. And, I love being outdoor, and I don't want to be stuck in an office, although it's the 50th floor nearby Central Park and glamorous location office. And so what? I've seen people being laid off really early on after I started the job. People who I really respected, actually, but because of politics in office, so the whole line of management got cut. They put in new people, and didn't even get to say bye. And these people all just received a pink slip. So that really kind of scared me, just to see, wow, these positions and these jobs and these, offices, desks are all easily replaceable. So I knew I didn't own anything from there. So then why should I act as if the world, that the office stops running if I'm not there, So then I guess I kept that energy really straight. I knew I wanted to get out of banking, and I didn't have a better way, and I didn't know of a better way. Then I started to learn about Market America, and I realized Market America is the best way. So then just, I guess if whatever you focus on will expand. My first goal was to get out of banking. And so I knew I had to make enough income from Market America so I can walk away from banking.
Just on that though, did you ever think, oh, maybe banking's not for me, but I could go work at an easier job? Like, some people say I'll go work for the government, or I'll work XYZ, which I know I'll finish at 5 o'clock. Mm-hmm. Was there ever an option?
Great question. But I think now looking back, I think I did understand one major concept, which is the difference between, in order to change your lifestyle, you have to change the way you make money. So that's because I worked for private wealth management, and I've seen my clients were the richest people, and they had to have at least 25 million investable assets in order to be our clients, right? So these people I've seen how their bank account just continued to add zeros. And I've seen how they leveraged us or leveraged their income, their money to play and make more money. So I've always known that just working a job is not going to be the way. But did I think about other opportunities? I honestly don't think so, but were there things that other people said that sounded interesting or a little luring to me? Maybe, but I always come back and ask myself, because for example, my best friend also quit banking not too long after me, and she actually went into interior design, which I'm also very interested in, right? And then she went back to Parsons because actually I've never shared this. When I was applying for Columbia, my other dream school was Parsons. So I wanted to I thought about doing architecture major in Columbia. And I thought about eventually doing interior design. So something that I really personally like. So when I heard her, my friend, going into interior design for 1 to 2 years of school, then she can actually do it as a profession. I actually did really admire that. And I also was like, wow, I wish I could do that too. But then I come back and ask myself, what would the lifestyle be, right? I'm sure she can make a lot of money, but the stress, the being on projects and the deadlines, and to not have ongoing income after they stop working. Do I want that kind of lifestyle? Although it looks fun and glamorous, do I still like that kind of lifestyle? So I think you got to hold on to that core of belief where, you got to know why deep down you must do Market America. Only this business can provide to you, right? It's not just money, it's the freedom that I wanted. You know, it's the freedom that I can travel at a young age. I can go anywhere. I don't have to report to anyone. And I can book a ticket. I say I want to go. I can go and come back. I still have money in the bank. You know, it's that kind of energy and the why that really kept my mind clear, rather than just, because back to your question, a lot of the younger people, you know, they don't really stay focused with this business because they always end up comparing themselves with their peers. Right. So, you know, fresh out of college, everybody start this business, you know, rah, exciting, we're entrepreneurs, but they don't know what entrepreneurs really mean. Entrepreneurs means you have to go through a long, lonely road, maybe dark, and you have to really do what others are not willing to do. So then, but you're going to live an amazing life when other people are still kind of on their routine. So then by 25, some people may find their other half. By 27, some people may start to get married and start to find their first home, right? And then some people may be like, oh, look at them. They're going on 2 times vacation. Or, you know, they're already closing on their first apartment. So people always get distracted by their peers, not knowing what truly mattered to them. And so the vision, right? The vision is very important.
Yeah, totally agree. I think it's awesome to have that vision.
It's not just the money, but the freedom. Really, that's what I'm sure like all of us are looking for and want in life, right? The freedom. Yeah.
Right.
So, Olivia, as a leader, how do you actually set goals for your team, or set goals to jump in together? Can you share that with us?
Okay, great question, actually. So I do think that the team's vision, number one, a leader's vision has to also, you know, include everyone else's goals in there, right? So, and then it also means how well we communicate that goals, that vision with the team. So it's not just the vision that I have for the team that I want to be the next professional coordinator and, you know, and let's work hard. It's more as, in order for me to achieve my goals, I need to focus on creating a lot more ECs, right? If I created a lot more ECs, that means we're going to automatically have master coordinators. And if we have master coordinators, then no brainer, you know, with the momentum, I will be the next professional coordinator. So, you know, with the philosophy, you know, it sounds very cliche when we say, if you help enough people achieve what they want, you get what you want. But it's so true in our business. So team vision is very important, that the leader needs to be ambitious and also aggressive. I do think so, right? Because I do think the leader is someone that's not only leading by example, but also setting the pace for other people to follow. So if we want our team to go and create momentum, and, you know, if we don't really set, so if you want your team to do 60%, you better be running at 80%, right? If you want your team to go at 80%, you need to run at 100%. And if you want your team to run at 100%, you need to run at 120%. So that's why you got to first burn yourself up, you know, like burn your desire up. Find all possible ways to really ask yourself. I think one thing that really helps me to continue to set, you know, goals, because sometimes I find my goals not very motivating. Like if you think of your goals and it's not exciting, that means your goals is not big enough. So that means you need to upgrade again, because the goal that's not exciting to me was probably set 3 months ago. So now when I think about that goal, my subconscious mind has already accepted it. So I always ask myself, if I don't continue to grow and get my team to grow, how long can my team wait for me? You know, it's something that if I needed to face myself, I always ask, you know, if everyone on my team did what I did today, would they be all successful? Yeah. And sometimes when we ask that, we're just like, ooh, you know, how many people did I talk to today? And if everybody talked to zero, then we would all get zero. No wonder we have no appointments. So, that's just like, oh, right away, it really wakes me up. So back to our team goal, how to translate that. Yes, number one, you gotta set a target, very, very focused target. I think a team goal, team vision has to be so crystal clear, so targeted. So for example, this past quarter, our team, obviously starting with pandemic, everybody is still, testing the water and to see, what would be the easy and best transition. Because we were all, confused and is Zoom going to be better for everyone, or is everyone just going to stay home and chillax and do nothing? So then we actually really set a goal and say this quarter, because everyone is, shifting to online shopping and, shopping annuity concept will be the perfect one to really get a conversation going. And so our goal as a team is to double the team amount in terms of shopping annuity master member. Okay, so doubling as in, everybody, each one reach one, right? So everybody who's already done it, you got to grab somebody with you. The leaders, you can actually set even a higher goal. So, but because of that very specific targeted goal, not only we actually doubled it, we actually tripled it. Okay. Cool. So, it's because it's a simple goal. It's just one target. We're not confusing the team. And, it's not like, okay, we got to do this and we got to do that. But that's just one example. We also set the same specific goal for Master UFO, right? And so with that momentum going and everyone adapting into the new era with Zoom, so now we're very confident. And this quarter, we're actually setting even more specific goals. We're going to focus on creating ECs this quarter, right? Creating ECs because that we already had a growth in SAM and Master UFO. So what will be the team goal this quarter? We got to create ECs. Why do we need to create ECs? So now we have to really communicate with each smaller leader. And what does that mean to them, right? Why does somebody who is, who's already got a strong organization on one side and she really wants to build, so then why don't you become the next EC so that you can help somebody? So, one of my partner who actually sponsored 4 people this past quarter on one side, right? And then she also has, she wants to build one team strong and really created that momentum. And that team was definitely blowing up, added like 20 people in the team for just with her connection. But she has that limiting belief and she always says, I guess when this team, everyone's making money, I'm going to start activating. Right? So she also didn't believe that she could be the next leader. And so we need to communicate with her is, you see the past 3 months, the whole team is motivated, they follow you, but new people also need to see that their friends are making money, right? So then their friends are growing with coordinator, EC, and etc. So then after that communication, she recently got activated and then gave her a goal of how to become the next EC. You got to personally sponsor 4 people and to really create a momentum, right? And then what's the next goal? President's challenge, chairman's challenge. So with that overall goal of creating more ECs, with more ECs in the team, everybody is stronger. And everyone will be having more, proactive mindset and helping existing leaders to make more money by creating newer leaders below them, right? So that was our goal this upcoming quarter. And how do we communicate that? Okay, team-wise, how do we say it? Individually, how do we say it? So it's really fun actually to communicate team vision.
Wow, that's awesome. And I suppose, you mentioned one of your quarters was about Master UFO and perfecting that. How do you encourage your team to say, let's do Master UFO together? Some may say, oh, maybe not this quarter, maybe not this time. How do you get them on the same bandwagon?
Great question. I truly do believe in order for everyone to jump on something, it at least takes 3 to 6 months of repeatedly educating and selling them the why, right? Selling them the importance of the value behind Master UFO program, for example. And you got to consistently sell on the program. And maybe 3 to 6 months later, the results will start to show, Okay, so what does that mean? In the first round, I think, usually maybe 20% of the people who are willing to follow your accountability, right? And then these people who actually are your focused people to work with, your iron triangle, right? You want to really develop more iron triangle and get those people to lead by results. So if you can get people to lead by results, so let's say if Candy, Sean, right, we have actually created our ABC, iron triangle, great conversations, great momentum, and we each we're on the same pace. So now our goal is to demonstrate to our team that if we all did what we preach in class, and we actually took those actions of what we tell the team, that's going to work. And 3 months from now, obviously volume's going to grow, right? Because Master UFO is the entire basic 5 in a compact. So it's a compact basic 5 checklist. So your attitude needs to be at the right place. You got to set the right goals. 125 BV per week, 25 IBV per week, right? Minimum to hit your 1500 goal. Then what do we need to do? 2 evaluation approach per week. So only if we did that, we are very confident to bring not just one partner on board, we can bring more than that, right? In a quarter. So, okay, us 3. And by us creating that momentum, if you've seen like a spear or, if a wave runner running fast and really creating that, wave, all the little boats on the side will actually start to give a little, right? They feel a little wave. And so that's what we need to do. And if we just have a wave runner, that's like you and A and B, right? The iron triangle. And if you actually already been duplicating Master UFO, and there's a lot of people ready to create that momentum. So that's like JR's yacht, right? If JR's yacht driving, driving by, everybody around in 500 miles might felt the waves, so that's what we need to do to really grab your iron triangle and get down to the details, focus on the weekly action plan, and get those weekly goals and weekly action plan as a culture for the team. So it really took me quite a long time to get everyone on the proactive entrepreneur mindset, because I said, if you just wanted to be a passive someone, or, that's what we do at work, right? We're passive and we're also reactive. Here's a project, Sean, finish it by 5. Oh, okay, let's get the job done. So that's how I was, being reactive. And now with Market America, the best thing is you want to be in control, right? You want to be the person that's in control. So don't let the best thing in Market America, slip through. And don't make a 2 to 3 year plan also like a 45-year mentality, right? So we really been educating a lot in terms of why we need to be proactive, set your own weekly goal, not comparing with other people, but compare with yourself. You gotta compete with yourself. If you hit a certain goal this past week, let's upgrade that goal a little bit by 20%, right? And upgrade again the next week, upgrade again next week. So like I've been in the business long enough to learn enough retail, but when the pandemic first started, I had to challenge myself, because I know if I don't know how the team will react to this shift, right, in March. So our team was growing in retail. Then we started to really set weekly goals. And I used to always set a weekly retail goal somewhere between 300 to 500. Okay, so on a weekly basis, I think that's quite good. So then I've heard other people sharing, they started setting their goals from a cross team, like 1,000 BV per week. I said, what? I need to start challenging myself. So I started setting the goal as 600 BV retail per week. Then, wow, I hit it. Can I hit it again next week? I also doubted too, but you know what? Cancel, write it down. You got to do it so that you can get the team to get excited. So I hit 600 again. Then I start upgrading to 1,000 BV per week. Then it's like really had a record retail throughout the whole quarter 2 because of that way of challenging, and the whole team started to just be excited. So be aggressive, be proactive, and the goal is to really lead by example and lead by results.
And don't stop challenging yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
So Olivia, you have talked about a lot about your team, the team vision, the team goals, right? How would you describe your team culture?
Well, we really do value our team culture a lot. If we have to hold on to one thing, we would hold on to our team culture. Because honestly, I think for any successful corporations, they all have a successful culture. I'm sure if you've gone to like Facebook offices or, Google offices, they have a different culture, but they are both very good company culture, right? So, because we truly believe that you can't duplicate personalities and you can't duplicate personal skills. You can't duplicate even that mindset or belief. What's going to really get everyone feel part of the team is the team culture, right? If you set the team culture as, so, attractive and empowering, then everyone wants to go towards that team culture rather than they just follow me or follow you. Because everyone's only had maybe the influence of, some people 20, some people can influence 200, some people like JR can influence thousands, but most average people can influence somewhere from 20 to 40, right? So if that's the case, then we all need to really build a team culture that everyone's proud of and everyone wants to be part of, and they bond into the team culture. So they follow the culture as a team rather than they just follow one leader, right? So it's not just my team. It's, if Sean was a new partner, it's Sean's team, because it doesn't matter where you are in the graphic organization, you are part of the team culture. If you embody the team culture, you are the leader of that team, right? So I think it's much easier to lead everyone and to communicate something. So team culture for us, something very important. Number one, appreciation. A lot of people might say, who do you want to work with the most in this business? And JR always says, you don't want to waste time with people who waste your time, right? That's so true. And what kind of people always what kind of people do I want to help the most? Let's put it that way. People who, number one, are very grateful, who have appreciation, who understands that we're all partnership. No one's supposed to do anything for each other, because if they have appreciation for the company, for the team, then, they will go longer way in this business. The second is people who love products, right? People who love the product and can't live without the product. People who have a strong product testimonial usually become your strong players in the future. Right? So appreciation and love for products are definitely top of our team culture. And third is ticket culture, right? So 买票卖票, buy and sell tickets, go money, no go, no money. So you've heard it many different ways. They all mean the ticket culture, right? So without the tickets, there's really no us, because you can't build a business by individuals. You can only build a business by system. So the system is represented by tickets, right? So I'm sure this time everyone is excited to join us at the September 11th to the 13th Market Worldwide Zoom. We're making history. We're making history. Like, I can't express how excited I am. Although we don't get to see everyone's physical faces, but this Zoom will be making history for sure. And top culture, number one, appreciation, love for products, and ticket culture. And something else is the culture of master UFO and shopping annuity master member. Because if you set it as a culture, people don't think it's hard to hit, because everybody hits it. Because at one point we used to think that, if somebody started the business mid-quarter, and how can they hit shopping annuity master member in their very first quarter when they first launched the business? But you know what? That's a limiting belief, because if they really wanted to hit and qualify SAM in 1.5 months, they can't do it. So, if you set it as a culture, no brainer. And what else as a team culture? Always be early, right? Always, be proactive. But I do have to say these are also work in progress. So for example, the proactive mindset. However, the being early and always pushing one more degree, we've definitely spent 2-3 years, and I think everyone has bought into it. So when we go to the convention, we educate the people over and over again. Why do we go early? Why do we line up there? Why do we do meeting before the meeting? Why do we do meeting after the meeting? Why do we, do meeting after the meeting and still after the meeting? Why do we hustle? Why do we, always push that one more degree? So you definitely have to identify your team vision, which is the culture, and then communicate that with the rest of the team. And be patient, because it's going to take a long time to get everyone on the same page. And when that's set, you will attract the like-minded people into your team.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And you definitely set a real team culture every time anyone goes to those big conventions. You can see it. But, you talked about people coming together and your team coming together. Are there instances where, you have UFOs in your organization who say, I don't necessarily want to work the way you work. I don't want to work with you. And I suppose they want to be independent and say, I will take it from here. How do you help with that?
Okay. Have I seen people like this? Definitely. Did everyone who wanted to do their own way always verbally say that they are going to do it their way? Not necessarily. So a lot of the times, it's same thing like qualification process for recruiting. Can we pre-handle some of these objections? Can we pre-handle some of these thoughts? So I've definitely also had people who, were really fast builders, and, although we were the ones that really helped them to build up, but once they actually had, usually, some people who build it really fast, they always expect the business to always go fast, right? They don't understand they were super fast, and maybe they need to really catch up with their personal growth a lot faster in order to not have a downturn, right? So, but I do have to say that sometimes you have to be careful with the communication. Usually these people are pretty, maybe they're successful in what they used to do, and or maybe they just have, pretty strong confidence. However, we have to kiss, kick, and kiss when we communicate, right? And but you gotta have the guts to say the right thing, but also have the patience to wait for the right timing. Let's put it that way, because sometimes we want to really just deal with these difficult confront, or just get the conversation out of the way. Let's be straightforward. Maybe the timing is not right. For example, at one point, we always do New York, New Jersey, Philly. We travel, and we're basically always together on the weekends, and always also have local events. So there were also times when certain groups also said, we don't think traveling to New York for weekend trainings as a team is really what we needed right now. Okay, so they were frustrated the fact that their people didn't follow them to come to New York. It's not because they didn't want to come to New York, but they didn't have the power to get the job done. And so if you actually we said whatever we could, we told them why it will be beneficial for the future, because it takes the bigger environment for us to build leadership for the smaller teams, and to really help you educate the team culture as a whole. So the whole is always greater than the sum of the parts. So we said everything we were supposed to say, but I also knew that I couldn't control them. I knew they were still going to do it, and that they were still going to replace the time with their own local trainings, and rather than coming to New York. So that's okay, knowing that. And I already knew what the results will be, because if you cannot get somebody to travel with you, then making it easier for them is not going to solve the problem. Does that make sense? So if you make it easier for your team, it's not going to necessarily solve the problem, because now they know that you're always going to fit into their ideas or their schedule. Some people say, I can't go because I have kids. And you know what? When they change it to local training, people still didn't go. Okay. So it still comes back to how can we educate, and you still have to let people understand the value behind doing certain things. And of course, do they have a goal, right? If they don't have a desire to build a business, they don't want to take any action that's out of their convenience. So being convenient in this business was never the reason why somebody made it. Let's put it that way, right? Convenience or success, you can never have both. So, okay, so we had the talk, and it was a little heated in between, but because we have a good relationship as a team culture, so we always end up kissing them back and say, we understand where you come from. Everyone wants to build a business, and why don't you try it out? And we're here to back you up, if anything, right? So then along the way, you also need to monitor for them. You can't let them fall too hard. So when they start to feel that their idea wasn't the best idea, but no one wants to be the person who says, okay, I was wrong. So now we just open our arm, open our heart, and pretend nothing has happened, and still just kind of lure everybody back and, kind of include everyone. So even if some people wants to kind of be a rebellious kid for the moment, it's like really Market America journey is like growing kids, right? So some people rebellious at 3, some people are rebellious at 16, some people might be rebellious when they're 25. So how do you know, right? Understand, meet where they are, but you gotta have the guts to say what you have to say in the right way to communicate, and also be patient, and also just always, be open heart and open mind with them. And I think they will appreciate that.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's awesome. And I think we'll definitely take that on board. So Olivia, I'm just a bit wary of time at the moment, but there's one question that I think is burning for a lot of people here. And so you have a young team as an age group. How do you actually encourage them and help them with retailing? I suppose you may get that a lot, but do you have a couple minutes to share on that?
Sure. I think in brief, honestly, for anyone to do retail, it's still the same logic. So many times we think it must be more difficult for certain age groups. And, actually, if you taught them the right way, for retail, I usually just focus on 4 things. Number 1, how strong is your personal use? Let's evaluate, if you can't retail, how strong is your personal use? And personal use, yeah, thank you, Sabrina. Our team's really big on personal use. So starting with my mom, Min Liu, and the entire Flushing team, it's like, if you look at how we make income in this business, every BV is created by, drinking, eating, supplementing, and, sharing, travels. So everything in our business is from personal use, right? So start with personal use. If you don't have a life-changing testimonial, no wonder you cannot share with passion. So a lot of people say, well, we're young, we don't have a testimonial. Well, I guarantee you, we can create a testimonial for you. So we always set a health goal. You can set a health goal for the year, but I think that's too long. You can set a health goal for a quarter, health goal for a month. And what's my goal this quarter? I wanted to have better digestive tract, and I wanted to have better skin health. So what are my focus products? That's why we're doing 2 collagens a day. When you're doing that, you need to brand yourself, right? Young people, you have a leverage. The older generation are trying to learn how to post on social media. And our 70-year-old, really powerful retail queen, and she's like, teach me how to share on social media. She's now posting on IG as well. But so, okay, live the lifestyle first. If you live the lifestyle and then share your lifestyle, then people become curious. But you got to be consistent. You can't share 7 days and expect people to ask you. So we did 1 month challenge, collagen per day. And then usually towards the end, people start to ask you, hey, did it really work? They're all watching you. So you got to live the lifestyle first, right? So if you're really loving the digestive tract, maybe do a 7-day detox group and everybody doing it together. So for young people, we usually do group events. So who wants to be, spring cleansing, right? Or summer beach body. So you could do a 7-day cleanse, 30-day TLS. You could do, we did the 30-day collagen in March. April, we did the Trim Tea Trim Cafe for the month. So every day, everyone's posting like Trim Tea Trim Cafe, different ways to drink it. Exactly. So then everybody tagging each other. So whoever's watching your social media are thinking, wow, Sean, this thing must be pretty good. So it's not you just taking it. It's everyone around you. So people don't want to be the guinea pig, and no one wants to be left behind. So when they see everyone's drinking it, they want some. So you want to create that fun shopping annuity lifestyle. So first, you got to live the lifestyle, right? You got to use it, be consistent with your health goal, and really show people some results. So when people saw that skin change and everyone got slim during pandemic, people started to buy. So number one is personal use. Number two is expose your lifestyle and, create that, professional branding. When people think about health and nutrition consultation, they think of you if that's your image. If you wanted to do beauty, people think of skin concern, they come to you. So number one is personal use. Number two is branding, exposing. Exposing is so important. And then number three is tracking. Tracking as in you gotta have a names list, create a weekly goal, and have daily talk-tos, right? So if you don't do those, doesn't matter who, right? Young, mid-age, adults, whatever, no one can achieve their retail. Last but not least is product knowledge, right? Product knowledge / tools. So don't just share everything by yourself. Leverage your tools, see what color of personality they are. If they're a green personality, don't try to convince them with your own mouth, right? Send them a video, send them a link, and let that do the work. So it still comes back to, the same way when you do prospecting. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful.
Yeah, definitely helpful. So much tips, and we have learned so much from you, Olivia, and 1 hour has gone by so quickly. We actually have so many more questions, but unfortunately we can't ask any more for this session. So actually, like how you have impacted a lot of us, especially the young UFO. You're definitely living the dream now and leading by example with all whatever you have said today. And as soon as Sabrina posted that you are the guest speaker for today, how many people actually texted Sabrina and wanted to talk to you, got a chance to talk to you. Me and Sean are really, really grateful that we are the MC for today, so we can interact with you. So we actually invited three UFOs from our team who actually really love you, and you have impacted so much on them, to come and share their thoughts about you. So first on the list we have is Amy. Amy Koo is from Miri, same like me. And yeah, I'll pass the mic to you, Amy.
Hi, thanks, Candy. Hi, Olivia. Hello.
Hi, Amy.
Hi, I'm Amy. Not sure if you remember me. I asked for a photo.
Yeah,
oh, thank you. I asked for a photo with you last year in August in Greensboro. Yeah.
Yes.
So before I met you, I've heard of you from many seniors, and then they compliment you as so beautiful, smart, hardworking, powerful entrepreneurs. And from EC to NSC, you spent only 1.5 years. That was so amazing. You are truly a legend to me. And you are so humble for all of above, and you love to share your success story with us. I'm so grateful. And I follow your Instagram too. Your life is like every girl's dream. You travel the world all the time. You have many trendy outfits and fashion accessories. All your photos are like influencers, so beautiful. And I'm downloaded UF Media in my car, so I could listen while I drive. One of your audio, MERC 2019, you were talking about goals. And then that's one of my favorite audio among all. I listened to it over and over. Each time I listen to that, I have learned something new. First thing, what I feel the same is when your family moved to USA, you have no money, no time, no networks, also no excuses. I'm from Shanghai. When I moved here, I have no job, no money, no networks. So I also really have no excuses to not working harder. And then second, oh my God, I'm so emotional, sorry. And then second, your story of your grandparents, that really touched me too. When you say that, can we stop saying no to the people we love? I have my tears in my eyes every time I listen to it because I love my grandparents so much, but I couldn't be there for them. So thank you, Olivia, for motivating me every day while I'm driving. And you also told me about personal growth. You are right when you say the person we are today can't achieve what we want in life. Our laziness made us lose focus. So we need to forget about what we can or cannot. We need to focus on what we need and how. So our goals is a going home kind of goal. Thank you for that too. So you are truly my role model. You impact me so much in my shop.com business. Really grateful that I can have the chance to say thank you to you face to face today. Really appreciate Sabrina give me this chance. And so I hope you all have I hope you can have all the nicest things in this world because you help so many people around the world already. Thank you, Olivia.
Thank you so much, Amy. I definitely have to say that when you were asking about young people retailing, I was going to say, well, Amy from Malaysia is doing an incredible job showcasing her, shopping annuity lifestyle and being creative and, and thank you for such, from the heart, from the bottom of your heart sharing. And it was very, very touching and we appreciate it. But honestly, you feel this way because you have the greatness in you already, right? So now it's just really unleash the potential and help more people. Great job.
Thank you, Olivia. Thank you. I will pass time to Candy. Thank you, Candy.
Amy, for your touching sharing. I try so hard to not, it's like running in my eyes, but okay.
Tissues.
Next, I have tissues too. So our next speakers, Einstein. Einstein is also from Miri. Einstein, are you on? Yeah, I'll pass the mic to you.
Hello.
Okay.
Good morning, Olivia. I think it's night over there. I'm Einstein from Miri. So Amy is my sister-in-law. She brought me to the business. So before I actually approached the business, I started looking into the YouTube and all and do a bit of research. So I saw the first power profile I saw amongst the other leaders is you. So I started following your Instagram. Since day one. So I really love the way you blend your life into shop.com so naturally. It's not everyone can do it. I mean, but you can learn all the way along the process. It's truly what we call turn your spending into earning. That's what I see it from you. And I went to the convention this year, the Miami convention. So I really love what you said about your team success is based on the education level of your team. It's not from the outside, it's from the B5. So this is really, really, touched me. And then I really think that everyone should go to B5 and keep learning because we have a lot of different kind of people in the shop.com business, like professionals like you. And I was a professional as well. And then I always think that I'm the best amongst compared to the rest of the people. So break down to break through and overcome myself. And that's what I really love about you. And then I see your Instagram every day. I really love the way you post and then how consistent you post about the products, like the one you said about the collagen. Like you've been doing it like every day with your team. Yeah, that's my sharing for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Einstein.
Yeah, Olivia, no doubt. Like every day, I hear from all my team members how great you are. Yes. So next, we have Ian. Ian.
Oh, hey, Olivia. Ian here from Perth. Thanks so much for sharing today as well. I guess when I first started business, I think I was the youngest UFO in Perth at that time. So I'm not sure you remember this guy, but Charlie Bear. Charlie Bear was actually coming visit Australia a few times, and asked him, is there any young unfranchised owners that actually succeeded in this business? And basically listed you as the top four. There was you, Drayton, Colton, and Andrew Chi as well. And it basically, like, I was like, wow, I saw your Instagram, saw you on YouTube, like, wow, this lady is so professional. It's like, there's no way I can achieve that as well. And every time like Charlie Bear would come back to Perth, he always share with me all the success stories from your team. And after I hear that, I'll be sort of like, oh gosh, because Olivia is so lucky. So Olivia is like so professional already as well. But I think it's so awesome to hear that you came from very humble beginnings as well, and definitely focus on personal growth. So that's why when I heard you guys from the talk shop and all this kind of stuff, I was like, man, I need to go out and start developing myself to become a better entrepreneur and franchise owner and a leader as well. So I think my biggest takeaways from you, I think I really love is that you know how to put aside ego. So for me, I guess the first, for a very long time, I guess I let ego come in the way. And basically I did not really want to do anything that was mundane, like particularly like tracking as well. I resisted tracking my results. I resisted Sabrina and Josephine's advice onto her, onto doing the master UFO, retailing, and always complaining. But definitely learning how to put aside ego, focus on the process and not the results. So I thank you very much to you, Olivia, for leading way and showing that this can work. And so I really thank you for your time as well, considering it's quite late for you on Friday night. But thank you so much.
Thank you, Ian. Well, you must be that, you know, we don't understand how grateful we are to have such amazing leader, and all of you being with, you know, your existing team leaders, your cross line or the local GMTS's events, and, you know, all of these people want you to succeed. And, you know, we really do have to appreciate everyone for, you know, Sabrina, Vincent, and for inviting me. Thank you. And of course, for putting things up to really empower, you know, 300 plus of us on the Zoom today, right? So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, thank you very much. You know, we have something else quickly that we want to go through with you, Olivia, but thanks very much, Amy, Ian, and Einstein for sharing. And of course, today sharing Olivia. But before we go any further, we're just going to have a little bit of fun. And we want to get to know more about you, Olivia Li. So, you know, I think similar to what you have experienced in Talk Shop, just answer the first thing that pops into your head. And so Candy and I, we're going to read the question and we're going to hopefully have a little bit of fun. So Candy, next screen, please. Let's go.
Right.
Well, you guys are gonna be nice, right? Nothing crazy, right?
Nothing crazy.
We try not to be, okay? we did. So what was your dream as a little girl?
Oh, what was my dream as a little girl? I wanted to be an astronaut.
Oh, nice.
Part of NASA.
Sean?
Yeah. So Olivia, you know, when we were looking at this, you know, Sabrina was saying that, oh my goodness, Olivia, like you remind Sabrina about, you know, Meryl Streep's character in Devil Wears Prada. Like, that's all. You know, really know your fashion, know what you want, and really strong and well-mannered. And I suppose for me, I always thought, oh, Olivia, I think you're more like, you know, Astrid from Crazy Rich Asians. You know, well-dressed, able to present well, but super kind-hearted and super humble. I don't know about you, Candy, if you had anything here that you thought.
You and Sabrina, actually, these two characters came out straight away.
Power woman.
Yeah.
So how about you, Olivia? Like, if you had to be a main character in a Hollywood movie, who would you be?
Well, I truly wouldn't mind being one of the X-Men's, but I'm you know, I'm also Libra from a horoscope, so I have trouble deciding. So I want more than one. Oh my gosh. Wonder Woman, sure, I'll take that. Somebody said Wonder Woman. But yes, one of the X-Men's.
Nice.
Awesome.
Okay, the next question, right, in the Zoom, so we actually go through your Instagram and get all the photos. So in June 2019, you said where to next? No go equals to no go. What's your next priority in life goal, business goal, or personal goal? So our question is, how many suitcases do you actually carry with you when you're on holiday? Because you know your wardrobe is spectacular, like super spectacular.
All right, that's a great question. I've been working on traveling light for years, and it's still work in progress. So every time, usually 2 big luggages, 1 carry-on, so valuable stuff with me, and only Europe. Sometimes I can squeeze in just 1 big luggage, but I'll report back to you guys in like another year, see how I improved.
but you carry so many MA products as well, right? I mean, we saw before.
Yeah,
So
that's
I think you need a whole luggage for that.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. So I do not leave empty space in my luggage for souvenirs. I pack all of my products, and then usually that's at least 1/4 of my everything traveled, or maybe even more, 1/3. So usually 1 big luggage is like almost overweight because of the products. So then my goal is to finish everything and throw away the empty bottles. Then I put in all the souvenirs I needed and come back.
Smart.
Wow.
Just gotta do that.
Okay, next question.
So how do you develop your own sense of style, Olivia? Like, how many shoes and bags do you actually own? We're looking at every photo. Man, it's awesome to have something apart, and it always looks different.
All right, so if you ask the ladies how many shoes are enough, they will say never enough. So I'm really guilty of this myself. So I do have a lot, and but I guess I've always had a passion for fashion, and like I said, I almost wanted to go into either FIT or Parsons, but really just I guess just be you, right? Like I don't really wear the trendiest stuff. Maybe some people are going very just sweats or t-shirts at one point, or whatever the style is at that time, but just be you and something that represents you. I think that's good enough, honestly.
Yeah, I also love my shoes, but I had to sell them all away when I moved to Singapore, so I'm very sad.
Yeah, me too. I'm on the process of cutting out stuff.
Great. Okay, so are you ready for the next question?
All right, let's see.
Here you go. What was your most romantic moment?
Most romantic moment. I would say still maybe when we got engaged. We got engaged in Venice 2 years ago, and so that was the last day of our trip, and so it was just us two. But I guess the ambience, the vibe, and that was pretty romantic.
All right. Okay. So when he gets down to knees.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's always like the guys always say, "Oh, I don't want to do that," and but when they actually do it, they actually put effort. So.
Great. Okay. So next question.
Future tips. All right, Olivia, we have a few quick questions here. What are your favorites in this list? So, alcoholic drink.
Whiskey.
Good. How about your daily exercise? I mean, you're taking a lot, but what's your go-to?
Oh, in the morning, I don't settle unless it's at least 8 caps. So daily essential, minimum 3 OPC3 to start, and ORAC, and extra B vitamins throughout the day, and nighttime turn down for sure. And the enzymes and the B complex and the vitamin C, vitamin D's are all during the day. And I can go on and on. That's not done yet. So.
All right, everyone, noted. We have to up our intake. How about your color? Favorite color? You pull off very many different colors.
I do love colors, but if I have to stick with one, I guess still white. I wear a lot of white.
Any favorite sport to watch or to play?
Ooh, to watch, definitely basketball. I've been to many NBA games, and I love to watch that. Sports, I'm not very good at sports, but I do love to, I wouldn't call it sports, more like, outdoor stuff, hiking, or, being in the mountains or by the beach or whatever. So not very good on sports.
Oh, I love hiking too. Love. We should go hiking. And how about favorite movie?
Favorite movie. I
If
love,
you can decide here.
yeah, it's hard. What's the name of the movie called? Not The Value Theory. Theory of Everything? No. What was the name of it?
Which one is that?
Well, Pursuit of Happiness, I love. But the other one, I have to come back to the name, but it just really, you know how you're trying to think, it's just like, okay, what's the name again?
It's on the tip of your tongue. All good.
Yeah. We'll go to the next question.
Also,
I
on
also
that
love
photo.
Transformers. I love Transformers.
Oh, yeah. Just before, Candy, you know, that photo that was on the previous slide, that's Sabrina's favorite.
Yeah.
Literally looks like a cover magazine.
With the champagne, sunglasses, with the shades. Oh, and she wants to know, where is this actually? Where did you take it?
This was in New York, downtown. So my friends were visiting and we were just playing photo shoots, and you know, so I hung out with them when they came to visit.
In the hotel?
Place?
Yeah, in a hotel. It's a Ludlow Hotel downtown.
Okay, Sabrina, there you go. Okay, next question. Where can you find an ongoing photographer who took perfect photos of you every time?
All right, so when I do travel with family or my boyfriend, now husband, but you know, it's always my mom or my husband, and they were trained by me. You know what that means. So no, not here, right? So yeah, they're well trained, but a lot of my photos were taken by strangers.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So when I travel, I travel for Market America things, or even when I went to take the tour in Sydney or Melbourne, and you know, I travel by myself and make friends along the way, and or I just see someone who is really into photography, and you know, if I like their personality, chit chat and ask them for a favor.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. Okay,
we
we'll
need
move on
that.
to the next question.
What is one MA skincare product you can't live without?
Oof, so many. This is a tough one. I was gonna choose between the Timeless facial cleanser or the Pentaxel.
Ooh, good stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, I had so much acne, and I'm so grateful to the Timeless cleanser because it really saved my life.
All right, noted. Got to give that a try.
Yeah.
We'll get it soon. Okay, so we'll move on to the next question. Okay, what was the most memorable moment with your mother?
We've actually had quite a lot after I started building this business, but most recent is definitely the trip that I took her for her 65th birthday last year, and being in Switzerland, and you know, we went to Verbier, and it was mind-boggling, breathtaking view, and you know, seeing her seeing that kind of view, and then being on top of the St. Alps, and you know, just yeah, she claimed that she skied, but she really just we just took lessons, and but even just that little bit of skiing, she was like a little kid and so happy, and just you know, experiencing different things that she never really had the opportunity to. So that was very memorable.
Sounds great.
That's
sounds
lovely.
great. Okay, so next question.
So Olivia, I mean, I'm sure you have a lot of people in your life, but who are the top 3 people today whom have influenced your life and you admire? And I guess how have they influenced you into who you are now?
That's a great question. Why is this so hard to pick and narrow down to 3? Number 1 is definitely my mom. You know, she's definitely a role model. I guess I've always looked up to her and just really respected, you know, everything that she has done for me, but also done for herself to really help the whole family. So, you know, but I think after I started building Market America, I appreciate everything she's done for me even more. Just knowing how difficult it was to, you know, really become an entrepreneur coming from no business background. So the fact that she taught me how to be a big heart person. She's got the biggest heart. Sometimes, you know, like if you heard her early days of building this business, I think all of us would just zip and do not complain ever again. So I still remember vaguely how people used to give her all sorts of random excuses, or, you know, lying about something just so that they don't have to go to a training or something. But really just every difficulty coming to her, she always had the most positive, big heart attitude that I really, really do admire. And just the way people see her, that's why she's got such an incredible reputation among many, many, many people. So someone else that I really, truly admire is Dennis Franks. Mr. Dennis Franks is, you know, has every characteristics of a leader and entrepreneur that I really want to grow myself into. He is so disciplined. He's so disciplined, so consistent. Any place you see him, he's always very clear-headed of what he needs to achieve, what the goal is, and he truly understands what needs to get done for what reason. So communication is incredible as well. So I definitely want to grow into a well-rounded player like Dennis Franks. So, you know, I definitely also really, really admire JR. If I only can pick three, JR has that, you know, if you look at JR, we always think that maybe it's really the UFO that gave JR this idea, because he always is in that zone of, you know, thinking and brainstorming and always thinking about this vision. And he's never lost passion. Even until now, we see him more excited than ever. So how does he burn that kind of passion and continue to enlarge his vision, right? Never settling. He's got generation deep type of wealth. So what helps him to continue to lead such an incredible worldwide company? So that kind of leadership and the conviction, I truly, truly do admire. And of course, for changing our lives and so many people's lives. Yeah.
Oh, that's super sweet. That's so nice.
Right. Okay.
Nice.
What is your magic moment?
My magic, so many. The first magic moment, I think it was when I still vaguely remember the scene, but it was my second convention, and several people shared how they wanted to do this business so they can help retire their parents and to be the example for their next generation. So I don't remember really, really clearly who it was, but it was more of people sharing their why. Really gave me that magic moment. And that, or maybe one of the title that said "Dare to Dream" at a convention, and it just really hit me pretty hard. And you know how when you finish the convention and you just don't know why you're crying and you're just like bawling like crazy. I think that's when I truly decided that this is it. Like, this is it for my life. You know, this is the career, this is the vision, this is the lifestyle I chose, and no looking back and no looking sideways, like putting the blinders on, that kind of feeling.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. You know, magic moments are so important, and I think everyone has this in their business. Or if you haven't, you have to go get that.
Right, definitely.
Great. Well, we just want to say thank you so much, Olivia, for coming on. But before we give you, I guess, formal thanks for everyone else here, thank you very much for staying on. It's, I know, a bit over time, but we're not having the Saturday Brekkie next week because we're having this all-star coring held by Market Singapore. And, you know, we're very fortunate to have amazing field leaders to come share next week. So it is a GMTSS, I think, event, or at least a coring that's run by corporate. It is full at the moment, but if you have registered, that's where we'll be. Next slide, please, Candy. And then for those who are still on here, make sure you come in and buy your tickets to our very special guest, Ruby Lydia Chan. We had her last week with Michelle Liu, and she's holding a health product overview for those in Australia. But of course, because of Zoom, anyone in Asia or around the world can tap in. And it's only $8. So if you need to, you know, get your tickets, there's the link there, or you can message Josephine Cullen for that.
All right. Thank you so much again, Olivia, for joining us today. We really have like learned a lot from you. A lot of people like have a lot of comments. So maybe when we're promoting the next event, you can actually go through the message on the chat a little bit.
Yeah,
okay.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Right. So, right. So on 1st August, we have Richard and Stephanie Ng, ESC, as our guest speaker for the Saturday morning. Okay, so Richard and Stephanie are also a very, very great leader. I've met them in MIRI and in US. They're really, really nice, very, very down to earth. You know, you can ask them anything, then they will share with you like selflessly. You know, like they tell you everything about the business, whatever you want to know. So please register and come and join us on 1st of August. Okay. Right.
So thank you. Yeah. Well, Olivia, I think we really want to say a huge thank you to you again for giving up so much for your time and being so open and so real to us today. I think we've all been very privileged to hear from you. And, you know, like Candy shared before, we had so many more things and there's so many things we want to ask, but, you know, I guess for time limit, we can't at this point. So please, we're looking forward to another local or for you to come over to this side of the world soon once everything opens.
Audio. So for those of you who haven't had enough, so just go and download Olivia's audios.
Yeah.
Well, so special thank you to Candy and Sean for being amazing hosts and making it super fun. There was definitely lots of planning and you know, rehearsals prior to tonight. So this morning. And I know they both, and together with Sabrina and the whole crew, have put a lot of energy into this. So thank you for a great learning session together.